Dude, you know what I wanted to talk about?
Later. What?
We need to talk about
Billy.
We need to talk about Devan's inability to spell.
Oh my god, dude.
So first, here I'll intro the episode. So the first one, I guess it wasn't the first one, but the first one I noticed was episode 10. He put epocide. So that sounds like how a hillbilly would say episode. So it's howdy y'all. Welcome to the Bants episode number 12. That's how old I was the first time I got married. We got your usual host, myself, Zach, Anthony, Naylon, and good old Brain. Today's topics include tractors and land canoes.
Silly.
And then the other one was in episode 8. He put the Bants, which is hello, welcome to the Bants. On today's show, we'll be discussing the finer points of object data sources and how they can affect your day-to-day life. Indeed. Yes. Quite. But yeah, so Devan can't spell. And now it's just a bit. By the way, let us know if you like the bit of Devan spelling the word episode wrong in every episode in the comments below. Yobo and anyone else who might
I was going to turn that into a bit where it's like, yo, tell us where you find the mistake, but then he spelled the name wrong, and that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
So
well, make sure when you go into the comments and you leave your comment, make sure it's misspelled.
Yeah, that's also important.
Like that idea.
Yeah, play into it.
Yeah.
But I figured out last night while we were at Korean barbecue why Devan spells everything wrong. It's not because he can't spell; it's because everyone spells his name wrong. So he has a subconscious need for revengeance. By spelling other things wrong. Yeah, revengeance, like Metal Gear Rising.
That was my first thought. I was like, the Metal Gear kind?
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question about spelling. Have you guys ever gone onto the iPhone, right? And you're texting someone and you're like, yeah, let me just press this button.
Oh yeah, have you ever played that game? You just hit the button as many times and send the message.
Yes.
Do we want
I've never done that.
Confuses the fuck out of people.
Can we all do that? I'm gonna post it on our Discord right now, and then we can all read our messages to each other. If you don't have Discord on your phone, Anthony, you boomer, just send it in a text message. You just hit the middle thing, just hit it a bunch of times until you're until you feel good. And then but yeah, in the meantime, so while I'm mashing this button
again,
while I'm mashing this button, welcome to the Bants episode 12.
All right.
Yeah, we're all here. We got Brian. Brian is back. He recovered from his injury. He got his nice Star Wars hat.
I survived.
Yeah, I'm liking that hat actually. It kind of looks
Thank
like
you.
a little shiny, you know.
Okay,
like
I got my message.
It's got
it does look like
leather.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, nice.
The hat looks like it has a little cushion in case you crash again.
Yeah,
there's a cat.
Also,
I'll see what you're doing there.
The cat is on the ceiling.
Where is that cat going?
The cat is going into the ceiling.
I didn't know it could go any higher.
She's on top of my entertainment center.
Oh man.
Oh no, she left. But actually, we're gonna move camera live now. Look at this.
All right, here we go.
Oh, here. So she's all the way over in the corner there.
We're doing the man on the street segment.
Her mighty T. Oh man.
Brian. Brian, get down. You're gonna get injured again. Bring Abe again. So here, can I read? I'm gonna read my message now. Yeah, I think I got my hair, lol, but I'm not ready, lol. I think I just need a ride home now. Then I'll probably get a haircut and sprayed. Lol, yeah. That's what I'm doing good now, and I'm chilling in lol. I love it, mama. Lol, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, lol. Really?
Honestly, those sounded like rap lyrics.
So I got oh wow lol. I don't think you can do it lol. I'm glad you're not gonna lol. I don't want your damn.
Does yours give you a starter word, or you just start typing something?
No, mine has a starter word.
Oh, I haven't got an emoji in there of
I just did
eyes going in. LOL. I just.
All right, here we go.
LOL. I just got off.
To what's all middles? I'm sending this to Zeke right now.
You want me to read yours, Anthony?
Sure.
Like, go fuck yourself.
I'm crying.
Yeah, no, I was crying last night because you know how I like to make the jokes about cocks and nuts and whatnot. So he said he saw someone who looked like someone in our little group text while we were sitting there waiting to be seated. And I'm like, I don't know what this person looks like, but then I responded in the group chat after he's like, is that person over there? And then I responded with, I don't know, but I think I saw Jocelyn McCulkin earlier. And then I had my phone like this, so I'm just kind of like chilling, looking around, and I turned my phone over and I just saw Anthony's response. It just said, "Go fuck yourself," and I just lost it. I was crying for like 10. Oh god, Nolan's in hell.
Yeah, I was gonna say, am I orange?
Oh man.
That's interesting. I
right.
changed the filter on my screen and it does that.
While we get Nolan back from the depths of the abyss, I'll read Anthony's. Anthony says, just wanted you guys are aware that we will see you at state next year off, and I think that we can get a chance of doing.
I like it. I like it.
Sounds pretty good. Close to what I would normally say.
Yeah, it's
yeah. When Anthony texts me, it sounds almost exactly like that.
It's like, hey, Anthony, it's like, oh, where's state doing? And I'm like, yeah, couldn't agree more.
I like that mine ended with "I just got off."
Yeah. Brian, do you have one?
I do. So mine was, how did your day work for today for you, lol? I have to work on my schedule, and then I won't have time for work, lol. But I, why, t-t-t-t-t-t-t-t-t-u-u.
There's no way that the suggestion would do that.
Hold on. That's rigged. It's rigged.
I like the Warcraft 3 orc peon in there going work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I just started typing too fast, and then I think my thumb veered off course for a little bit.
So. Started hitting letters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. I did have a possible $1 billion or $1 trillion business idea as well.
Do you want
that
to
we
lay
can
out
get
now?
into? I don't know.
This is behind the scenes, so we all get paid first.
No, it needs to be out there in the public.
Someone's gonna steal it.
Yeah,
fine.
We're gonna get thefted.
That's fine. They can.
Thefted.
If you steal it, that's okay, because I know who's gonna steal it. But first, Devan, do you have?
What the?
No one actually went into the abyss.
I was gonna say Nolan is running off with it right now.
Yeah,
He's already took the money and ran. I don't know if Devan has a autofill thing he wants to share as well.
Oh yeah, he did.
It's all misspelled. I can tell you that for sure.
It's not
Yeah.
misspelled because I didn't spell it. I
Ooh.
hit you with the, I'm not going to the park, but I'll park at my park at the same park and park at park.
You're really like
And then park in the North building, and then go north to the North building across North Street to the North Park at park.
Oh.
North Park at North building, North Park, North building, north of North Park at North building.
Devin, did you say anything other than North Park in your phone?
I don't know.
What the fuck? That's actually, hold on. I'm not gonna go to the park, but I'll park at my park at like the same park, and then park in the north building, park north. It's fucking Parappa the Rappa. Oh my lord.
Jeez.
All right.
That was amazing.
All right, gentlemen. Here we go. Get ready. So I was watching my friend stream the other night, and there was a conversation that arose. We're talking about when I visit this place, about how we're going to get burritos, right? And then someone else who lives in same said place was telling a story about how they had to get their penis measured. There was a penis inspection at school when they were in school. So I'm like, wait, if we get burritos, am I going to have to get my penis inspected? And then my friend, she's like, wait, what if they did that and they gave you a burrito based on the size? And then my brain went, so here's the idea, gentlemen. The burrito shop. You get your dick measured, and that's how big of a burrito you get. And it's measured with a burrito, and you get to take home your tortilla. You get to take home your measuring tortilla. Now for the ladies, because we don't want to leave anyone out. It goes based on the depth, of course. Which
yes,
you also get to take home your measuring burrito.
I wonder how they're going to measure this.
And the name is Burritos for Boners.
Now the question is, all right, are we going to penalize the small people or the big people? Who's going to pay more?
So that we'll
right.
figure that out. That's
As
detailed.
well as, are you charging per inch by
Ooh,
weights?
yeah.
That's what we haven't figured out that detail yet. But I do
By
know that
pound?
when we need to cut costs, we'll incorporate a pool so people can go in the pool before they get a burrito, and then we'll be able to save on some tortillas because we'll be able to use smaller tortillas.
Yes,
Yeah.
because everything will be shriveled. Yes, that's good, man.
Yep.
I like
It's a
it.
genius business idea. But other than that,
Oh, ice bath. Oh yeah. We'll
Yeah,
have
ice bath.
cryotherapy.
yeah,
But
it'll be
it's-
perfect.
Yeah, we'll use cryotherapy to save money on the burritos, but then we spend absurd
We're
amounts of money on
spending,
managing
we're
the
spending way
cryotherapy.
more money on the cryotherapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think
The
that's
gears are
the
turning. I
plan.
got many ideas with this.
Yeah, that's why I'm
I was
like,
gonna
that's
say,
why we
I
can
saw
just
your
run with
face.
it.
I'm like,
Yeah,
he's got
see,
something.
we got to discuss the details at another time. We'll figure it all out. But for now, welcome back, Brian. We missed you last week.
Thank you
We love
guys
Abe.
for filling in. Thank you, Abe, as always.
Fuck Abe. Okay.
Dang.
Go fuck yourself.
No.
Oh.
No, yeah, glad to have you back.
But I have
Can you turn-
returned.
Can you turn correctly without your whole body falling on your head?
No, I'm good now. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
This isn't my work. What's up, Crash? Whole body.
I gotta-
What up?
It was like that for like 2 days. I couldn't do that.
He's
It was
a
awful.
fucking PlayStation 1 character. He has to turn his whole body. Yeah, the right analog stick hasn't been implemented yet. He has to turn the whole body. He's like,
Yeah, and then my polygon hands that don't move.
yeah. But now he has his right analog stick is back.
Yeah, so now I'm good.
That's awesome. We know so some things concluded, like the Book of Boba Fett and
Yes.
the Nintendo Direct while
Yes,
you were
there-
gone.
There was some exciting
It's
things.
time for the Brian Ketchup Hour. It's like a couple minutes because if it was an hour, it'd be the podcast.
All right, so what do we want to start with first? Do we want Star Wars talk or do we want
Hey.
Nintendo talk?
Tell
I'm
me
in the
where you
past.
got that hat from.
From this?
That's also
Oh,
true.
this I got at the same place where I got the other cool Star Wars hat that I have, the costume exhibit. I got both these hats there, and this is based off of Poe Dameron's X-wing. So technically a Resistance logo, but it's also the Rebellion logo as well. So just so you guys know.
Thank you.
Good, good, thank you. So what's the difference between a rebellion and a resistance?
The Resistance is obviously fighting against the First Order, who is trying to take back control of the galaxy and basically the second wind of the Empire.
I appreciate that you said obviously.
But the rebellion is just rebelling against the.
Well, because the Empire is already established. See, the First Order kind of started as a cult, and then it,
Cults.
yeah, of
We can get to
former.
how much you go to hell in the abyss.
How many orders are there?
Just the First Order. I mean,
There's
well,
What?
there's 66 orders if you think about it.
How you gonna
Yeah.
go? There's only 1 to 66. Like, come on.
Because there's
Because
Order
execute
66.
Order 66. Yeah.
It depends on if you mean order as in an operation or order as in a clan, a sick
Yeah.
gang clan.
What?
A gang
It's a
clan?
gang clan, dude.
Like gang
Never heard of
clan.
that?
Well, there
You
is
never
the
heard of the
Bacon
gang clans?
Clan.
It's where you go into COD
Like,
lobby.
hold on.
and
So I've
you
heard of
360
gangs
no
for sure.
scope.
I've heard of clans.
You never heard of the gang clan?
Like, is this like the dream team of clans?
So the gang clan was a thing, and someone who I watched stream would do GTA Online races, and he always called it gang clan racing.
Yeah, it's
And
like,
gang clan just caught on. I just love saying gang clan,
yeah, dude, it's like FaZe Clan but gang.
gang clan.
Big gang clan.
All right, so
They're
the
not
66
as deep at NFTs.
yeah.
Yeah, the 66 gang clans reestablishing the empire.
Yes.
Yeah, how about we do I'll tell the lore of Star Wars as it is in my brain, and then Brian can fact check me.
I
We'll do that. We'll do that as
I love this. Yeah.
series one time. It'll be like the Billy Madison thing. He's just gonna be like, everyone is now dumber for having heard this. All right, but continue, Brian.
Oh, I thought we were gonna do this.
Oh, that's gonna be. I need like if I
That's
gotta
another-
recap. I gotta do the entire thing. That's a whole like other show. That's like a 3.5 hour show right
I mean,
there.
You have
I'd be
a
down-
whiteboard and
I'm
everything.
So down for this. 'Cause
Yeah,
I could.
definitely.
Yeah, set up a
I'm gonna have
whiteboard.
the whiteboard. I'm gonna have like I'm gonna be Charlie Day and Always Sunny, where I'm in the mail room with all the things connecting to each other. Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia. I just can't say that. Pepe Sylvia.
That's a great episode. Fuck.
All right, back to Brian.
So yes, that is where I got the hat. So
From the
Cool
ordinance.
hat.
From the first order.
from the
From
first
the-
order, yeah.
Not the
First
ordinance?
order of gang plans.
First ordinance is we don't talk about the ordinance. You know that, right?
First order is that we don't talk about the organs.
Yeah, this is news to me.
I think if I remember
What
correctly,
is this?
I think the first order was established by Tupac.
Oh,
You-
you sure?
Oh, you can't confirm nor deny at the moment, you know?
I
Yeah,
thought that was
that's true.
Pitbull.
I feel like
That's-
Pitbull would be a
that's
follower.
Probably.
This is
I could
305.
see it. Oh yeah, he's the founder of Order 305. That's what he is. Yeah.
That hat is so cool, though.
Thank you. I love this hat. I wear it all the time.
Do you sweat in it? Is it like cloth on the inside?
Yeah, it's got cloth
You
on the
don't-
inside.
Okay, all right. It's
Yeah.
well designed. All right,
Very well designed.
all right.
That's a good hat right there.
It's a very good hat.
Does it insulate you? Does it keep you warm?
I mean, when I would wear it during the wintertime, it actually would. So
The hat looks like the 1930 version of the football helmets, you know, the way it's made.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can see that.
oh, the leather heads.
Yeah, the leather heads. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like it. You know,
Thank you.
it's hip. It's now. It's wow. You know.
It's the newest thing.
It's
you
If
know?
it's not, it's wild.
It's
now-
wow.
It's wow.
Continue,
So-
Brian.
What are we doing?
It's hip. It's now. It's wild. That's going to be the pitch when we make our first piece of merch. We're just gonna have
Oh my
Nolan.
God.
I like it though.
Yeah, man.
Hip,
hip,
it's now.
It's
Wow.
wow. And how?
It's very
And how?
No, that's from Spider-Man 2.
He said that?
That's ripped from Spider-Man 2, the movie. Yeah.
Oh my God, he's right.
Yeah. He's the guy. He's the fucking nerd or whatever that works in
Yeah, it's
Jonah's office.
see, we didn't remember that because we're too old.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happened like
yeah, I had to think about it for a minute. I was like, let me watch the movie
Yeah.
in my head real quick.
that was like half of our life ago. Watch. Brian just replaying it in his head.
I mean, I can do that. It's pretty impressive.
Just imagine Brian's like, "Hey, you guys want to watch a movie?" And you're like, "Yeah," and he just sits down on the couch and he's just like staring at the wall. You're just,
Yeah. He's just.
oh,
like,
this is
no.
great. You're just like, "You guys want some
What, you
popcorn?"
didn't catch that? Let me rewind it real quick.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pause.
Every now and then he's just like, "Holy shit! Did you see that? That was amazing."
You're like, "So Brian's like, shh, this is a good part." Shh.
Yeah.
Shh. We can talk afterwards when it calms down again.
Yeah. Just, he like jumps. Oh, gee, whoa! It's like I'm right there.
I was gonna say, yeah, he watched
Wow.
three is amazing.
Uh,
All right. Well, since we are still on Star Wars a bit, I will talk about Boba Fett. So the Boba Fett show happened. It's very decisive in the community. It's quite literally love or hate it right now. And it seems like it's a lot more hate right now because I think a lot of people have this preconceived notion of what Boba Fett is and what he does with him just being a ruthless killer and all that. And there wasn't too much action in the show. I don't know. How spoilery do you guys want me to get?
Yeah, you can.
as
Yeah,
much as you want.
I'm
Much as I want?
I'm
I'll
balls
probably
to the
watch it
wall.
eventually, but
I'm whole ass. We don't know half ass.
What?
We go whole ass.
Full ass.
yeah,
Yeah, like
full
Ron
ass.
Swanson.
It's not
Never
just one
half ass.
cheek
It always
in,
go
man.
full ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta go all in.
Ron Swanson, Parks and Rec.
Yep.
Just take it
yep.
all.
Yep, I like it. I like it.
So you don't mind, Anthony?
It's on my list. Continue.
I mean, you can take off your headphones. If you want, Anthony, you can
Pulls
take
up
off
his
your
arm.
headphones, and then
Pulls
when
up his arm with no watch on it, like, oh, yeah.
Anthony, you can take off your headphone, and then when Brian's done, we can do a little squid squad.
Yeah, if you want, because I don't want to spoil it for you.
I mean, I still have The Mandalorian on the backlog, so it's all good.
Not even. What are you? Have you even watched Mandalorian yet?
No, continue. Tell the story.
Okay, well,
It's like
you gotta
disappointed now.
you gotta watch Mandalorian season 1 and 2 before you go into Boba
I've seen
Fett.
the Baby Yoda. It's all. I don't need to go through it. Damn it.
Don't you mean Grogu?
Okay.
I'm out.
I did not know that.
We're going too deep already.
Anthony's like, I've googled Baby Yoda. Okay, I'm good.
I am somewhat of a connoisseur, you might say.
Yeah. I know all about
Nice watch.
the green babies.
The green baby, the cute little baby. So, all right. So, Boba Fett. It was teased at the end of the last season of Mandalorian, where Boba Fett returns back to Tatooine, specifically Jabba's palace, where we are seeing it taken over by Bib Fortuna, the Twi'lek that was always whispering in Jabba's ear in Episode 6, if you remember that, the pale guy with the big tentacle going across his neck.
I didn't know his name. I knew the Twi'lek
Bib
guy.
Fortuna.
Twi'leks are
Sounds
sick, by the way.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, so
Twi'leks are in the upper echelon of cool Star Wars races for sure.
They are. Oh, yes. And so you have him sitting there, and then Boba just shoots him. And then he sits in the throne, and then it's like Book of Boba Fett coming soon kind of thing. So we sat on that for probably a good year, and there's still really no news on Mandalorian Season 3. But we had this. And it was kind of Mando Season 2.5. Kind of a little too much, I felt. But I'll get to that. And so obviously it picks up right where we last saw Boba Fett, where they do flashbacks to where he was falling in the Sarlacc pit in Episode 6 and him rolling into it and what it is. So the Sarlacc pits are giant, like insectoid kind of monsters that root themselves into the ground. And they're literally just a big mouth that just pulls things in with the tentacles, as we saw. And so when it's digesting the things that it eats, it's live digesting it. You do not immediately die as soon as you get eaten by this thing. You're being stomach acid. And it's very gruesome when someone falls into a Sarlacc pit. And so we get a small glimpse of that in Boba Fett, which was really cool, of him crawling around in that. And then eventually he escapes. And we don't quite know how long he was in there for. There's some theorize that it might have been a couple years he was down there, but I don't know how he would like keep himself fed and all that stuff. But either way, he came out and he was messed up. Like most of his armor was destroyed. He scars everywhere because it just sitting in acid. And so then it follows this whole like kind of Dancing with Wolves thing where he links up with a clan of Tusken Raiders. And they first treat him as a prisoner, and then he earns their trust over time, and he becomes one of them. And that's where the like a bantha theme or meme came from.
Like a bantha.
Yeah, like a bantha.
For the very first time.
Yeah. So, and so it jumps back and forth between him with the Tuskens in the past, and then it'll show little snippets of what he's doing, basically being Jabba the Hutt now. And trying to control the underworld of Tatooine and how people are resisting him. He doesn't have a whole lot of friends. He has a lot of enemies, and he's just trying to get on I think the straight and narrow. We're not exactly sure. And so it doesn't spend enough time in the modern stuff, I feel. A whole episode is dedicated to him with the Tuskens, which is cool. And I did like that, but we didn't get enough of the current stuff. Cause I mean, it would literally be like 5-10 minutes of what's currently going on. And then the rest of the runtime would be him with the Tuskens in the beginning. And then it started picking up over time. The biggest freak out for me was when Chrysantan showed up, who was a comic book character. He's a Wookiee, a bounty hunter Wookiee. He's really cool. And so they're bringing in like small stuff from the books and the comics that like never get touched on. And so Chrysantan started in the comics and they brought him on.
They're appealing to Brian.
Yes, they are appealing. Oh, and they'll go even further with this as well. And so the show is pretty slow. And I think that turned a lot of people off because it wasn't as action-packed as I think people hoped, because you don't even really see Boba shoot anybody until like you get a few here and there, but it's not like any big shootouts until the last episode. It was very low on the action until towards the end.
Because yeah, when you think of Boba Fett, it's like all he's ever seen is he's just like this bounty hunter dude, just
Yeah.
ruthlessly hunting people down, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's his whole thing. Because I mean, he has no family. He's got nothing, except for his father's armor, and he doesn't even really have that fully anymore either. He just kind of has the top half. And we saw him fix it and stuff in The Mandalorian, which was cool. And there was probably one of the worst chase sequences I've ever seen in it, which is he meets this little like biker gang and they all have these like Power Ranger colored bikes. And they chase like one of the bosses that Boba's trying to absorb into his stuff. And it's such a slow and not very well put together chase scene. And the way they filmed it just made it look like people could run faster.
Yeah.
Than that, it was so weird.
Speed chasing is just like dudes on tricycles.
Yeah, and they were supposed to be on speeder bikes and that go, up to 300 miles an hour. But these were going maybe like 15. None. You have the front prongs. They're basically motorcycles without any wheels. Because you don't need wheels unless you're driving the clone turbo
Where are we
tank.
going?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Don't you know that unless you're in a clone turbo tank, you don't need wheels, bro?
Yeah, come on, bro. The legs.
Come
on, bro.
Jeez.
Come on, bro.
Oh, this guy.
I'm not coming. That's for sure.
No.
No, but it's like a little hover bike, right?
Yeah,
I
pretty
haven't seen
much.
it in a while. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they show up a lot in the movies.
Yeah, so they do versions of that with these new ones, but they look like hot rods almost. Like they actually look kind of cool, but seeing them in action was very disappointing. And so then for whatever reason, because there was only 7 episodes in this whole show, and it didn't feel like enough because we spent the first 2 episodes mainly with the Tuskens, and then we got the third one, which was half Tusken, half modern stuff. And then we got all modern with the 4th one. And then the 5th one just became Mandalorian, the show. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen a show do. An entire episode was devoted to the Mandalorian.
That's bizarre.
It was so weird. It came out of nowhere because I was like, wait, I thought I was watching a show about Boba Fett, but all of a sudden it was Mandalorian, and Boba doesn't even show up in the episode. It only goes to Tatooine at the very end. It's literally like picking up where Mandalorian is at, and they don't even mention anything from the previous season of like how he got here because of the way they left it. Well, that's not really an easy thing you can just walk out of. And so we don't know what happened there. And now he's just doing these like small little bounties everywhere. And admittedly, the coolest part, which I thought wasn't going to be good, was we got more of Luke. We got a lot more Luke.
That's interesting.
Old Skywalker. Yeah. So at the end of the previous season, they're backed in a corner and they're getting attacked by Death Troopers, which is another cool old thing, which are just basically super droids that look like stormtroopers. And so they're getting destroyed by these things. And then all of a sudden an X-Wing flies in and you see little R2's head. And then they do this whole thing with Luke moving through to like killing these guys with the Force and everything and not even breaking a sweat. It was so cool.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. And then he puts down his hood and they CGI'd his face on him. And you could tell it had that kind of uncanny valley feeling to it.
No, you can tell. I don't have good eyes.
Oh, you couldn't tell? God
No.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've seen it. Isn't in the Mandalorian he shows up too, and the CGI is really off.
Yeah, it's at the very, very end. That's why they give him like very limited screen time with the hood down. Because the way they get away with it is his hood is up, so they do a lot of shadowing on his face until the last second when he pulls it down, and then he sensed Grogu in the Force, who's Baby Yoda, and ends up taking him to be his first student of his new order. And so that's where we left him off. And in this episode, he comes back and we get to see Luke training Grogu, which is really cool. But it's a complete deviation from Boba Fett. So it was cool to see.
Yeah, it's
But
just
it
like,
was just
well, it's just
way
like,
out of
shouldn't this
left
be somewhere
field.
else?
Yeah, because it would be like, well, why can't we sit on this a little bit longer?
Yeah.
And after the way the last season
We have to
ended,
put it in now.
yeah, and so a lot of people like to joke that people were getting so upset with the show that it wasn't what they thought it was and that it was too slow, that they basically just did the Mandalorian emergency button to get people to watch again.
Yeah.
And I could see that, but also this stuff is planned so far in advance and planned out, and it's not like they're shooting it right now. They're like, okay, guys, we have a week. We gotta make these like high production sets and costumes in a week.
Hold on. Imagine if they did do that though, and then you get those like memes where they like Photoshop faces over like,
Yeah.
animated things. It's just like that's just for Luke, and just like he puts the hood down his face, just like as he turns, it's just like changing faces from
Yeah.
Photoshop. You can still see the white outlines and everything.
I feel like the only people
CGI boys.
who could do the weekly thing was the South Park guys, because they could do it and do it well. But so going back to Star Wars, so yeah, we don't get any hood up on Luke. It's all that CGI face, and admittedly, it actually looked a lot better than it did in Mandalorian, probably because they knew that it was going to have a lot of screen time. And then at first I thought maybe they took lines from Mark Hamill in the previous trilogy and did some AI stuff to it, but apparently the whole thing was just AI. They would just plug in the lines that they wanted it to say, and then it would emulate Mark Hamill's voice and spit the lines back out. That's apparently how they did it, and it's really good. But you can tell it kind of worked in their favor, because with where Luke is at, he's going to be kind of the more robotic, like Jedi, master at this point. So he isn't going to have a whole lot of emotion, because he was very deadpanned. He would throughout all this. He's like, okay, now Grogu, you're going to have to lift the rock with the Force and all that. I mean, just like completely deadpan, but it was interesting. And I don't know how I feel about this, because I mean, Mark Hamill's still alive, so I don't have too big of a problem with it. But I don't know what's going to happen in the future when they start digging up dead actors, which they already are.
Well, why don't they just have him back? Is he too old? Does the voice just not sound the same?
Well, he's in his 70s at this point.
Right, so why don't they just? I mean,
so what it was is the reason that it wouldn't work is because he would be too old, because this only takes place about roughly 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
so he'd be, I think, 24, 25 at this point.
Right.
And so that's why he was able to that's why they jumped so far ahead with the sequel trilogy, was because they're like, okay, we're going to make it make sense with where they're at in real life, age-wise. So they couldn't do that, and his voice would be too rough as well for that to really make a whole lot of sense. So that's why they did it the way that they did. So I'm curious to see if they're going to try and push it further with like maybe a Han or a Lando. I don't know what they're going to do with this, because it worked, but it was weird. And I have weird feelings about it, like kind of thing, because I don't trust companies with this kind of tech. And I get weird about it, like if someone's dead and stuff. So like with Carrie Fisher for Leia, I really want them to, like, unless it's a cartoon, I don't want to see a CGI'd Leia. I just
That's a bit weird.
Yeah,
a bit morbid.
That's why I said like a cartoon is okay, like CGI animated, that's fine. But when you try and do what they did with Luke, But so anyway, so we had that episode of The Mandalorian just spliced in there. And then he comes to Tatooine because he's ready to get back into the world. He has a new ship, which is a Naboo starfighter. So that's really cool seeing that. And then so he comes back, he links up with Boba Fett, and then the last two episodes are all action. And it's a lot of fun because it's just a rival gang that start trying to kill Boba Fett. They've tried assassinating him a couple times in the show. It never works. And then, yeah, it just turns into, with all the friends that Boba's made over throughout the show, Mandalorian's there. And then Grogu shows up and starts using the Force. And then Boba rides a Rancor, which is really cool to see. And then they kind of emulate King Kong for a lot of it because he climbs like one of the towers in Tatooine and stuff.
When you say Boba, not the full Boba Fett, I'm just imagining like a little bubble tea guy, a little smiley face, and just like a jetpack and blasters. Just a little Boba.
Just blasted away on his Rancor. So and then it just kind of ended. Weirdly enough, they beat
abruptly.
Yeah, they beat the gangs, but the biggest thing throughout this whole thing was Cad Bane showed up.
I thought you were gonna say Cadbury egg.
No.
I was long. Yeah.
Better.
I was thinking the same thing.
I know all of you. Your
addictive.
eyes probably just glazed
cream
over.
On the inside. Do they have cream on the inside?
Yeah. Oh, you got some cream on the inside.
You know, we can get you some.
Yeah.
So at the end of one of the episodes, Cad Bane, who was a very big deal in the Clone Wars show,
his name is sick.
Yeah, and he has a blue face, and he wears a big long cowboy hat. He looks like a cowboy. He's got 2 pistols, and he threatens Boba, and he rolls up. So cool.
He rolls up and he's like, "I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die, and you're free, now you die."
As my wife can attest when we're watching it, that
is that what it looks like?
Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Cad.
No, he doesn't. He sounds way cooler than that. So okay.
It doesn't sound like me at the start of the episode talking about land canoes.
So the thing that's on his cheeks is a atmospheric machine. He can go into.
I was gonna say they were cheek dicks.
No, he can go into any climate with those things on and not have to wear like a helmet or anything. So he can go into space or bad atmospheres and stuff. It's really cool. And then he's got little jetpacks on his boots, but we don't get to see that in Boba Fett show.
He kind of looks like a badass. He looks like a badass detective, kind of.
A little bit, but they were definitely going with the kind of the more like
slap a trench coat on that bad boy.
Yeah. So that's also what he looked like in the show at the bottom there, the live action version. And he comes in.
His hat? That's my question. What's underneath that hat?
The Cadbury eggs.
That's just his head, because at one point he doesn't wear the hat in the show and ends up stealing the armor of a clone trooper and pretends that he's a clone trooper. That's a really good episode. So anyway, so yeah, he comes on and I get all excited because they show his silhouette at one point, and then he comes on and threatens, and then there's a big fight with him and Boba at the end, because in the Clone Wars, Cad Bane took Boba under his wing for a bit and show him like bounty hunter ways and all that stuff. So they have a bit of a past, but the show barely talks about that. Cad just mentions like, "Oh, when you were a kid, I did all of this for you, and this is where you're at now, and you've gone soft," and that whole kind of spiel stuff. And then they shoot each other, and Cad Bane has the big dramatic fall, but I don't think he's dead because his life support was blinking on his chest. So I don't think we're done with Cad Bane just yet. And then everybody says their goodbyes and stuff to Mando and Grogu, and then he flies off into a ship. And then the show ends with Mando going into hyperspace with Grogu, and that's how Boba Fett ends. It doesn't even end with Boba Fett on screen. It ends with Mando on screen.
Gotta prep you for the next Mando.
Yeah.
So Cad basically shows up and is like, "If you ain't first, you're last."
Pretty much. Or he's hired by the rival gang. And so he's telling Boba to like stop and to just leave the planet.
Does he also say, "If you don't like Big Red, then fuck you"?
Yeah. If you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you.
So that's Boba Fett overall.
Yeah, give us the bow tie summary.
All right, so bow tie summary. I really liked it because I looked at it as, because I would have arguments with people at work with this, is because we would talk about it every week, and they hated it because it wasn't as action packed as everybody wanted. But the way I was looking at it was, if let's see you come out of the belly of a gigantic monster being digested alive, and let's see you come out of that the same person.
Yeah.
And
that's also what when you mentioned that, I'm like imagining he just has a conversation with someone. They're like, Man, I worked like 60 hours this week. He's like, I was being digested. Like,
Yeah, being digested alive, and I barely made it out. And so the way I looked at the show as a whole is that it was a man who was basically just going from contract to contract and not really having a purpose. But then he linked up with the Tuscans, and they showed him that there's more to life than just killing and going from the next contract, and that you can still be powerful, but you can do it in a different way. And so that's how I looked at it, was that he finally had that near death experience that's like, okay, I have to do things differently now, kind of thing. And so I ended up really enjoying it with that. I still enjoyed the weird Mandalorian stuff. It was weird. It kind of took the piss out of the end of the second season, I felt, because we didn't even have a whole lot of time to sit on the way that ended. But it was still enjoyable. It was cool. The Easter eggs were everywhere. It's obvious that Dave Filoni and Happy from Iron Man, I'm forgetting his name right now.
Jon Favreau.
Yes, Favreau. Yeah, Favreau and Filoni obviously are just as into Star Wars as I am, because if they know who Casertan is, then obviously they were reading the comics too.
Favreau, if you're looking for a consultant, our boy Brand's
I am
available.
here. Please. You will not regret it.
You'll definitely not regret it.
So overall, like Boba Fett, I would say I would probably give it maybe a 3.5 out of 5. It's pretty good.
3.5 jetpacks.
Yeah, 3.5 jetpacks or 7 Grogus out of 10. So if you want at that scale.
he can find power in other ways, and then I imagine the Boba Fett powerlifting spinoff.
Yep. So get excited, because the next show is going to be in May, which will be the Kenobi show. That is probably the one I have been the most hyped for since they've announced it.
And that'll be on podcast episode number, here we go, quick math.
When we get to
27
May,
or something.
Something like that, yeah. Because I think the rumors right now are the end of May, but they'd be crazy not to put it on May the 4th. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that would make way too much sense.
Unless we're going to get Bad Batch Season 2, then I would be just as okay with that.
What kind of batch?
Bad Batch. So the Bad Batch. All right, Bad Batch.
Oh, no.
Real quick.
He's so hyped. Look at
give us the 30-second summary.
Also says it's going to be this big too.
So Disney, they decided to finish the Clone Wars and gave us season 7, because when the Disney buyout happened, they canceled Clone Wars show. They never finished it. So they came back and finished it. They introduced new characters known as the Bad Batch, which is a group of 5 clones that were not perfectly cloned. And they don't sound like Jango. They don't look like Jango. So that's why they call them the Bad Batch. But they became Republic Black Ops troops, because they were able to do the dirty work because they didn't look like the regular clones. So then eventually they get their own show, which branches off after Revenge of the Sith, and we follow their adventures, and it covers into a lot of what the clones say and do post Revenge of the Sith, when Palpatine really didn't have a need for the clones anymore. So it dives into that. So get ready. Last season was really good. Came out last year. And get ready for Bad Batch Season 2. So we might have Kenobi and Bad Batch at the same time.
Perfectly 30 seconds. Now, give us the Nintendo Direct rundown.
Okay, so Nintendo Direct rundown.
What was your winners from the Nintendo Direct?
So
I think I talked about Lego Brawl last time.
Okay, so probably my biggest winner was the Fire Emblem announcement.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, so we're gonna get. Did you guys play Fire Emblem Warriors at all?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a branch off. It's Dynasty Warriors, but
with Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah, with Fire Emblem characters. So they're going to do another one of these, but it's just going to be the characters from Three Houses. Absolutely adored Three Houses. Very good game. So if people at home, if you have a Switch and you're looking for an RPG, pick up Three Houses.
Yeah, tactical, and where it's very hard to find like turn-based tactical RPGs. Three Houses is 3 houses out of 3.
Where it's also mostly a dating sim as well.
Also a dating sim.
Yeah, It
The
and
game,
like
it's very funny because the game will be like if you're playing it on the hardest difficulty, it is frustratingly difficult,
mhm.
and then you're like, leave me alone, lady. I don't care. I'm just raging from this battle.
And your characters, if you want, you can turn on permadeath for your characters. So if your characters die in battle,
Just classic Fire Emblem.
yeah, very classic Fire Emblem. So the battles are actually intense and hold weight when you have that on. And so that's always how I like to play it, is like, okay, I got to be really careful, and it like forces you to really think about moving your troops. But anyway, they're making that. So that would probably be my biggest announcement from that. They announced a few other things. We're going to be getting Mario Soccer again. I was really excited about that. A new Mario Strikers. That's always fun. Yeah, and then
that's a fun drinking game.
What do you do? What's the rules for that?
You know, we need to talk to Abe about my soccer drinking games.
Okay.
But they're not good. You die. you die very fast.
Well,
It's
we will
not
be getting
safe.
a new one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to require some revision for sure.
Yeah. And then we got a little more of Splatoon 3. I really like Splatoon. The multiplayer is a lot of fun. Squid.
The ultimate esports.
Yes. And then we got a little more info on the new Kirby game. Kirby can now eat a car, but the car is too big, so he wraps around the car and you drive the car around. It looks like a lot of fun. I fucking love Kirby games.
It sounds kind of disturbing.
And then we also are getting Wii Sports. That's coming back.
Yes.
You guys remember that? That's coming back.
Sports.
Yeah, they during the direct they showed the tennis, the baseball. I didn't see boxing. Boxing was my favorite.
Yeah, boxing was hilarious.
Yeah, and then they have air gliding and a couple other new ones. But yeah, Wii Sports is kind of making a comeback. And then we also got Mario Kart 8 DLC, which apparently that killed all the rumors that we had for Mario Kart 9, because a lot of people were hyping that was going to get announced this year. Nope, they said that they're doing DLC tracks. They're going to do, I think it was like 30 or 24 new courses that they're going to add over the course of the next year.
Game.
Yeah, over the course of the next year. And they're going to be a lot of old courses that's kind of the theme of it. And so I'm really excited to do that. I mean, like I said, it kind of kills Mario Kart 9 for the next year or so. So we'll see if we'll get that. Other quick little things. Apparently No Man's Sky is coming to the Switch.
That's a nice Switch game.
Yeah, so I'm pretty shocked by that. It looks like a totally different game now too.
Yeah, so I played No Man's Sky. Like I tried it out. So I don't really play it like. I don't really play games like that much, so I wasn't expecting to enjoy it that much. But I know everyone hated it. And then apparently they fixed it like a year and a half, 2 years later and made it really good.
That was like 4 years later.
And now it's good?
Yeah, they
maybe 4 years, I don't know. But yeah, I've heard from a lot of people that it's really good now.
Okay. So yeah, the current version of that is dropping on Switch, I think, in the summer. Apparently MLB, I mean, I know I'm not really that big of a sports guy, but I was kind of shocked by this. MLB, the show, is coming to Switch. That was a PlayStation exclusive forever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, I'm not a sports guy, but I kind of raised my eyebrow at that. I was like, really? That's technically a Sony exclusive. So, yeah, that's coming over. Portal 1 and 2 are coming. So that's
Just
pretty
that, not the
exciting.
orange box?
No, it's just Portal 1 and 2. The orange box, that brings me back.
You know, that was a good deal.
That was an excellent deal.
The orange box is the deal.
Yes. And so the final one, probably the biggest one, admittedly, was Earthbound. So Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings, which is the NES Earthbound, are both coming to the Nintendo Switch Online. Now, that was a pretty big deal because Nintendo's been really struggling with Earthbound for the last 3 decades at this point.
Yeah, basically as long as I've been alive.
Yeah. And so they finally are getting it on Nintendo Switch. They did manage to get it on the SNES Mini when they were doing those. But for the longest, the longest time Nintendo would be like, "Oh, it's the music." It was the music that they were
'Cause it was all
struggling with.
licensed?
Yeah, it by a specific composer who works
Oh,
for a
he took
different
it away?
company. Yeah, so I think
Okay.
there was a lot of fighting over that. But now those are coming over. So I'm hoping those are going to be successful. They are on Switch Online, which kind of has a bad rep as it is, but I think they're fixing it. I mean, Majora's Mask comes out in a couple of days for it. If you have the premium Switch Online, you get all the Mario Kart DLC, you get the Animal Crossing DLC, you get all the Genesis games, you get the N64 games, Super Nintendo, and NES games. So it's admittedly starting to become a better deal. And now that they're including Earthbound, which I highly recommend people play, amazing game. And so yeah, that's coming to. So I'm hoping that maybe this will get some kind of dig it up a bit,
And yeah, that might mean maybe a new Earthbound sometime.
or they will finally officially translate Mother 3, because that has never been officially translated. It's all fan translations, and that's the one where blonde-haired Ness comes from. Oh, Lucas. Yeah, so that's where Lucas comes from for the Smash players out there, for Mother 3, but it's never been brought over here. So maybe we'll finally get an official and if that happens, that's a big deal. And then maybe, just maybe, like Zeke said, we will finally get Mother 4.
Maybe.
So yep, those are the biggest highlights from the Nintendo Direct. They ended the show with Xenoblade 3. I've kind of dabbled. Games. Yeah, I've kind of dabbled in Xenoblade. I definitely want to go back and give them a good try, because
those are destroyers of your time for sure.
They look like single player MMOs.
Yeah.
So
there's
3 got
a lot
announced.
to do.
Yeah. So yep, those are the biggest headlines from the Nintendo Direct. Pretty standard stuff. I think we'll probably get a little more in the fall or in the summer. I was hoping for a Breath of the Wild 2 announcement. That was probably my biggest hope was for this, but I think they're probably saving that for the summer.
Probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Nintendo Direct.
Well,
it sounds like good stuff is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really did play much of Nintendo anything, but I'm still hyper familiar with at least half of the things you said.
Yeah.
Wii Sports is a fucking throwback for sure.
Wii Sports is so fun. Except I feel like they might get rid of boxing, because I feel like when we played Wii Boxing, it just turned into us actually boxing more times than not.
Yeah, or possibly punching your TV.
Yeah.
Or that, yeah.
As you get too into it.
Something is getting hit. It's either the wall or your friend or yourself or the floor.
Who knows at this point?
It could be anything.
Yeah, or maybe you accidentally throw the remote across the room.
Yeah. Try a remote.
Seen all those videos of that happening?
Yeah.
Oh, some of those are so sad.
So there's not a new Mario Kart game, and they're just getting more DLC, but you know what is getting a new game? Street Fighter 6. They had they confirmed it last night after they confirmed it last night after Capcom Cup. There was a 5-second teaser trailer. There's probably 850,000 memes at this point, because there was like 700 in the first hour that were hilarious. So if you want a good laugh, yeah, the logo. I posted a link in the images chat. The logo is literally available on Adobe's shop for like $80. So it's like it's very basic. So it's like I don't know if that's actually I approve basic things, but it is getting memed to hell and back, which is hilarious.
That's the logo?
Yeah, it's all over the teaser trailer too.
Look,
yeah.
And it's six-sided.
The characters, they look like Gears of War characters. They got no necks.
Yeah.
But none of that matters to me, because it's like, if it's fun, I don't give a fuck. Much like Marvel Infinite. But the thing that's crazy to me is this means that now in the past, so since like 2020, 2021, that means that there's been a new Guilty Gear. There's going to be a League of Legends fighting game. There's going to be a new Street Fighter. There's a new KOF. There's going to be a new Dungeon Fighter game. There's a bunch of, there's like 6 million indie fighting games.
Yeah.
There's so many fighting games coming out now. It's actually, I cannot keep up. Everything's getting rollback netcode now. It's the fighting game golden age.
It's returning.
It's returning. It's like when SF4 came out.
Do you think the final will all be looking on raising our hands up as a light from the heavens come down and slowly descending from the clouds in heavenly light is melty blood.
Yes. In the bathroom stall. Which, the melty blood in the bathroom joke it's been beaten to death, but it's still funny to me.
It makes me laugh every damn time.
So speaking of bathrooms, I do have a hypothetical, gentlemen.
Okay.
Are you ready? Are you ready for me to pitch
tournament?
this? No. All right, you're walking around. You're just walking around in some venue. You're like, I really gotta pee. You walk over to the bathroom. The place where you go to pee. You go in. Every urinal's out of order, and someone's in the stall. And it sounds like they're not going anywhere anytime soon. There's some sound effects happening, and they're just like, "Fuck," and you're like, "This is crunch time. Like, you have to go. You're doing the pee dance and everything." So like, fuck it, I'm going in the women's bathroom. You go in the women's bathroom. No one's in there except the security guard, and she says, "Excuse me, what are you doing in here?" And you're like gonna plead your case. You're like, oh, "Look, I just really gotta pee, ma'am." But she looks like she's a tryhard. She's not gonna have any. She's gonna beat the fucking shit out of you with her nightstick. The only way you can use this bathroom is if you tell her that you're non-binary. Do you lie about your gender to pee, or do you pee your pants?
To pee or not to pee?
Yes.
I think that would just be
There's no pants
funny
at all.
I think
It's either you let me use the restroom
hilarious.
or I'm going on the
You
ground.
go in
Let's
there
go.
and you're like, oh yeah, I identify as female. Yeah, well, she's not gonna take you seriously for one, but I mean, yeah, I totally.
Hey, it's 2022. She has to.
I was gonna say you could get her in trouble for that. You whine about it on Twitter.
Too, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I could
to.
like complain about it on Twitter, and then I have like millions of followers overnight, and then I could sue. So I would just. The thing is, I would have to keep up the act after that. So
no one's
Just
making
until
millions.
the blows over.
Yeah, no one's making millions. Anthony's just gonna piss on the floor and go to prison. By the way, you go to prison if you piss on the floor. This is a very upstanding place.
Dude, honestly, I would have just stayed in the men's bathroom and went in one of the urinals that's out of order.
They're not even there. There's nothing there.
There's no urinal.
They're gone.
A stall.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just one stall.
There's a stall, and okay. Well, it looks like that mirror is gonna have a good time, dude.
I mean, you could use the sink.
That's
Like
true,
if you piss anywhere other than the toilet, it's 5 years prison.
Well,
your options are toilet and pants.
so even if it's in your pants, though.
No, your pants are fair game.
Oh, fair game there. Okay.
Yeah, that's the rules of this
I think
hypothetical.
Maybe I would just like act like a lunatic and open the stall and go in there and just fucking throw the guy against the wall and then go, like
Throw the guy against go.
Yeah, I mean, I just I tell him to leave, and then if he says no, I'm like, motherfucker, if you don't leave, you're gonna leave. All right, just not by choice. So,
But it's much around his ankles. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I have the advantage.
What if
Toss him over, no problem. He'd stand no chance.
I mean, he's mid growler. Are you gonna do that to him?
I mean, yeah.
What if you open the stall and there's a saber-toothed tiger?
Well, then
I'd be questioning.
Really confused about those sound effects you were talking about earlier because I figured I would have heard it before I got it.
And it would be a scientific marvel.
The hypothetical is going in a different direction now.
Saber-tooth tiger was able to go into the stall, fucking close it, lock it, and make the same sounds as a human taking a shit.
Yeah, they've evolved. They know how to
make noise. It doesn't have to be the same as humans. Also, it's security guards. Saber-tooth tiger. All right, he can bring it to work if you want.
Okay.
Just imagine a little tiger wearing a vest who has a nightstick strapped to his back, holds it in his mouth.
Mean, you're fucked either way. Then you either go against a saber-tooth tiger or a really intimidating giant security guard woman.
My question would be, why is the security guard in the bathroom in the first place?
I don't know.
She had
Don't,
to go?
I was
I
sporting
didn't think of the details. I just want to know if you. I just want to know if you would lie about your gender or piss your pants.
He's there to prevent
These prevent degenerates like you from coming into the bathroom.
All right. This is the perfect strategy.
Degenerates.
The perfect strategy is you go into the bathroom. She says, "Hey, why the fuck are you in here?" And you're like, "Listen, I'm gender fluid. All right, want to see?" She'll say no and walk out. There you go. Perfect.
No,
strategy.
she takes her job very seriously.
So it's like an
Okay.
iron wall.
So then
Yeah.
you pull down your pants, and well, I never thought I'd get this far. I don't know.
What, pee on her?
No, just like,
there you
wow.
go.
You show her your fluid just coming out of you.
Yeah,
what you do.
yeah. I mean, you can't stop.
Fluid?
You can't stop it at that point, anyways. It's either your pants or her. You know.
At this point in the
Well, I'm
conversation,
telling
you're
you.
already pissing.
We're back to what I said.
So everyone's in prison, basically.
Yeah, everybody goes to prison. And
Hold on,
everybody
hold
smells
on.
like urine.
And then we do the
You
podcast
put your
from
fluid
Jet.
on the ground, she runs and she slides, does the
Yeah.
and then you make a break for it, you know?
Much more effective than banana peel. It's very
Yeah.
good.
100%.
That's true. It's like chicken grease. You non-slip shoes don't even work.
Yeah. Well, here's an option. Why don't you just go outside?
Oh yeah, I was getting there. Outside is
You're
like
getting there.
56 miles away.
Well, you can't get back in.
So there's a 56-mile wide building that you're in, and you're in
Yes.
the center.
Am I at an airport?
No,
Oh. Then
you're at
where
a
am
Star
I?
Wars convention.
Oh.
Why don't I just walk a mile?
Oh.
I have to pee. But it's a lot of business to take care of.
Oh, jeez, man.
Brian's bringing that device that you piss into, it's suck against your leg so you can collect it all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
it's
like
like
a
where
bag.
you keep your hand on the car.
yeah. Just go in a water bottle, dude. I mean,
Devin says there's just a lot of stairs. I don't know why he's not saying that in the microphone. We have had no Devin interjections.
Yeah, no, my
it's-
mic was muted and I just didn't reach over to turn it on.
That's fair.
Oh, so you just said it out loud to yourself?
Yes.
You know, for some reason, I have a feeling that when Devin is of legal age and can consume alcohol, which he has never done before, he's going to be a great time.
You know, you really didn't have to add the part where he's never done it before.
Definitely never done it
You
before.
know, yeah. By
I
the way, he's
heard
never done it
not
before.
by drinking it myself, but I heard Truly's mango watermelon is not good.
I love Truly's. Those things are delicious. I
kept
forget which
hearing
one
that the other night.
I tried. Yeah, from a non. Yeah, I think I might know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, right?
It sounds a little. There's a little something up here that I might recall better than other people who might be in charge
I
of
might have
editing.
fallen about 3 or 4 times.
Might have taken a couple of quick sneezes on the earth.
Oh, shit.
Being of quick snoozes on the earth, you know what it's time for? Time for Nolan's drug of the week. It's the drug of the week. Come take a peek. Nolan's drug of the week. This week's
Take a
drug
peek at
is
those Adam apples.
this is Nolan's Adam apple.
Do you have anything that cures hangovers? I was really thinking.
Oh, the gears are turning there.
I have something that very effectively prevents it.
Do
Sunny
you have to
D.
take it before? Sunny D.
Like there's something you can take and like you can do like math problems on, you know, like 3 shots, dude. Like you're good. Well, depending on your tolerance, you know, but
I think we talked about that one. That
yeah,
sounded
I think we
familiar.
did. But that's called Alcar. That one's pretty good. I don't really have a drug of the week, but you know what? I'll make one up. Iodine.
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 You recommended
the drug of the
this
week.
It's
to
gonna
me
be
like
our-
2
our-
years ago.
That's gonna be our quick Nolan quick off the top of the head drug to close us out.
Yeah, so iodine, really good for the thyroid. All right, that's it. I'm kidding. So
Have a good day, everybody.
have a good day. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
listening.
It doesn't even like
Bye-bye.
it doesn't even like slowly fade out when we say bye. It's just like it's good for the thyroid, and the pod just ends.
Yeah. So no, so iodine is actually really, really multifaceted. But when you Google it, you'll just see thyroid function. But it's very, very good for cleansing the thyroid, actually, or chelating or chelating, however you pronounce that, metals out of the body and out of the thyroid. If you're having energy issues, temperature issues, like body temp issues, like you're colder than you should be. Like, you know, you walk
I know some
outside.
people who might be colder than they should be.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
If you have
I know a lot of people.
I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, so disappointed. If you have metabolism issues, if you have cognitive issues, that's what I'm using it for right now, because I obviously have cognitive issues. But no, I'm using it for memory right now, and I'm gonna see if it actually works. But they didn't know this about 10 years ago, but I'm pretty sure it was a recent study that was showing that iodine can actually. Sorry, I yanked my headphones out of the socket for a second there. That was cool. Iodine can actually help your serotonin and dopamine levels. So if you're interested in more motivation and more mood promoting stuff, iodine can actually be used as a little bit of a mood boost, along with a memory boost, along with a temperature boost and a weight loss boost. I mean, it just depends on your, if you're low on thyroid hormone in those cases with metabolism and such. But as far as the brain goes, even if you have proper functioning thyroid, you can get benefits out of it for the brain. You can get benefits out of it for just detoxing in general. And most people in general are probably deficient in iodine. The RDA, which is the recommended daily amount, is 150 micrograms, and that is very, very low. That is just the amount that is required to prevent goiters from forming on your thyroid.
Goiters.
If you're a woman, goiters. Prevent those from going on your thyroid or developing fibrocystic breasts. Yeah.
Sounds like some crazy robot boob.
Does.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so if you're a woman and you're iodine deficient, that can actually happen. You can have something wrong with your ovaries too. Can't remember what that's called, but yeah. So it's very, very important, and it's also very important to, if you were to be having a kid, to give it iodine, because it can actually be a little bit, I don't want to say the word stupid, a little stupid, if it doesn't have proper iodine growing up. So iodine, it's a very interesting one. It's been giving me a lot of energy. Some people actually take iodine and selenium together for an energy boost before they go out. So yeah, there you go.
There it is. So we'll put a little clip at the end of this episode, if Devin remembers, or if he also needs iodine, of the video of Devin cracking my back while I was in Indiana. Little bonus clip for the real fans.
Ooh.
Do you got any closing thoughts, fellas?
The wait for Elden Ring is almost over.
That's going to come out, and I'm just going to play Demon Souls again and wait for Elden Ring to go on sale.
So do you think that security issue? I know this is closing thoughts. Do you think that security issue with is it Dark Souls, right, or something? I can't remember.
Security issue.
Yeah,
I thought we're going back to the P joke.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Oh, no, there's some security issue with either Dark Souls or some other fucking game that same developer is making.
Dark Souls, Sekiro, Bloodborne, Demon Souls.
Maybe it's Demon.
Well, it's probably PvP related. If it's PvP related, I think only the Dark Souls.
What, did hackers get into it?
Well, no. So like there's some security breach to where, like, if you play that game, you certain people would have had access certain people.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about this. Like this is like a couple of years ago. I feel like
Wasn't this the first
No,
Dark Souls?
This is recent. This is very.
Or was
Oh,
it
this
the
is like
remaster?
This was Dark Souls 3.
Oh,
This
okay.
is okay. I don't know which one this is, man, but it's recent. And the people are worried about it happening in Elden Ring because they haven't actually fixed what's going on as of yet.
Well, I will luckily not be playing on PC, so
Yeah. So, anyways, but closing thoughts. Oh, I got an idea. Hold on. Here we go.
he's getting something.
No. I
I looked it up. It's Dark Souls 3.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember it being a thing in Dark Souls
We
3.
haven't mentioned Halo at all, so sponsored by Spartan Scrub.
Take a shot.
There you go.
Take a shot.
Scrub!
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, and this is like it's like the things at warehouses where it's like days since last entry. We have days since Halo was last mentioned. It's just always 0.
Yes.
It's always there.
We made it the whole episode though.
We did.
Yeah.
My final thought is we need to flesh out this burrito shop idea.
Flash,
right.
see you.
Oh.
Kill it. It's over.
Just kill it. Fade to black.
Anthony's burritos for boners.
Burritos.
I'm not
That's
franchising this at all.
No, I
There's
think
no
you
way.
are, dude. That sounds good. I like it.
Or as Devin would say, Anthony.
Oh, this is
So yeah.
Devin, learn how to
hopefully-
spell. Use your phone. God.
So if Devin remembers, enjoy the clip of Devin cracking my back. Otherwise, tell Devin to take some iodine.
Yep.
Or
Just
go
remember,
fuck yourself.
Yeah,
Go fuck yourself. And we invite you to also go fuck yourself.
Remember that some men are tighter than others.
Yeah, remember that usually bigger men are tighter. Never forget. And on that note, we'll see you for episode 13.
One more thing. One more thing. I always like my little teasers at the end here. Next week, besides Elden Ring, I'm going to talk about, because I have sinned, I got Cyberpunk.
Ooh, you.
So I will talk about
a year
Cyberpunk.
later,
Yeah,
however.
2 years,
Very
almost 2 years later. Year and a half
Two
later.
years
Thinks
later.
he's
Has it been
Steve
2
Jobs with
years?
these.
So look
Yeah,
forward to that.
it came out-
Assuming
gonna
Brian
be-
doesn't fall off his roof or something this time.
Yeah, I'll try not to. I'll be too busy
Shit.
playing Elden Ring and Cyberpunk. So I should be safe.
I'll be nice and safe.
Yeah. So mine will be very video game focused next week. But yes, I have thoughts about Cyberpunk.
All right. Well, hopefully. Well, I guess I'll find out next week if it's fixed. I haven't heard anything for a while, but gosh, dude, it feels like 2 weeks ago that game disappointed me.
They couple days ago they released a huge ass patch
Wow.
for it.
I'm glad they're still supporting.
So yeah, it's
The
1.5.
huge ass.
Hopefully it's a cabbage patch and not a bad patch.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, but that's what I
We're
said.
outta here.
I
And we're
didn't-
Yeah,
Deuces.
good night, everybody.